Hello, fellow freaks, geeks, and normies, and welcome to my casual tech impressions. This is the first in the series, so feel free to leave some feedback on the structure and content of this. Otherwise, let's get into it. Today I'm going to be looking at one of Alienware's newest monitors, the 32-inch 4K QD OLED gaming monitor, the AW3225QF. It takes what they did 2 years ago with the world's first QD OLED gaming monitor, the AW3423DW, and improves it in almost every way. And let me tell you, this slightly curved 32-inch monitor is a beast. And yes, I said curved, and I'll get into that later. I'm not super techy, and in fact am extremely casual when it comes to things like this. So I'll leave the deep dive things like color accuracy, response times, and things like that to people who are more qualified and experienced. I'm just a dude who likes to play games and never truly invested in a high-end monitor. With this being my first step into a luxury like this, I'm blown away. But is the $11.99 asking price too high? Well, I do have an answer to that. First, let's go through what comes in the box, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and ring the bell. Every small bit counts for a small channel like this. Thanks. And here we go. So after unboxing it all, we have a stand for the monitor, a setup graphic, a sticker of the Alienware logo, a microfiber cloth for cleaning, power supply, one USB-A to USB-B cable, one DisplayPort cable, one HDMI, and of course, the big baddie itself, the monitor. Now you can see here, I'm adjusting my setup. I've been playing on 27-inch monitors for maybe 7 or 8 years now and thought that that was the way to go, especially when playing competitive shooters. Turns out, when you're bad at a game, it's not the monitor. I'll be replacing my very old 27-inch BenQ 1080p 60Hz monitor, which is the vertical display that you saw on the right, and moving my 27-inch BenQ 240Hz to that vertical spot. Kind of seems like a waste to have a 240Hz essentially doing nothing, so that might change if I get a secondary setup or if I can find a better use for it. My top display is a 4K 60Hz Dell monitor that I got purely to play my PS5 games, since the heavy hitters are just barely hitting 60 FPS. I also can't seem to operate on 1080p these days when editing or doing anything like that, watching media. Maybe it's some sort of undiagnosed ADD that makes me want to have like 50 windows up at once, and I don't pay attention to any of them. 4K is quite nice to have since it actually does give me a lot of room to work with. And for my main display, I will obviously be using the Alienware 3225QF. I no longer need to look slightly up when I play my PlayStation 5 games, nor do I need to sacrifice a crisper display for a quicker refresh rate. You might be able to tell, but this monitor is quite large and actually covers up a little bit of the bottom of my top monitor. But honestly, that's okay, since I'm not really looking up at the other monitor when I'm playing a game that would actually cover up most of my view of it, like Apex or Overwatch. I played a few games on it, and it actually makes me feel more immersed. If you're looking at me playing Overwatch right now, you can see that I'm almost right up against the screen, and that curve really brings you into the game. So yes, that curve. I thought I was going to be indifferent to it. I thought I wasn't going to notice it, but holy shit. When you are up in it, it really helps focus your field of view, even if just by small margin, and actually kind of takes you away from the outside world. Everything about this monitor invites you to keep your eyes on the screen at all times, not just with gaming, but with viewing media in general. It might be the honeymoon period for me, but I'm literally looking at the oddest spots of my screen that I'm just gushing over it. The clarity, the vibrance, it's a lot to take in. Pair that with the curve that pulls you in more, and you'll find that you'll just be zoning out watching your wallpaper engine desktop on loop for like 30 minutes. It feels like there's always something new for your eyes to be drawn to. And let me remind you that right now you should be drawn to like and subscribe. Not only that, but I have a 48-hour game-a-thon that will be streamed on February 9th through 11th, noon to noon PST, here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@LeoDonuts, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/LeoDonuts. Hope to see you there. Anyway, I will say that my most eye-opening experience was turning on my PC when it was pitch black, with the only thing illuminating the room being the breadth of my mouse and the power button of the monitor itself. I pressed the button to turn on my PC, and out of nowhere, the startup screen came up and the text was so clear and the black was so deep, it was like the text was just floating in the middle of the room. It actually got ruined by the other monitors' backlights coming on, and all I could think when the other monitors came on was, God fucking damn it, I'm such a spoiled bitch right now. So the experience when gaming was just something else. As you can see on screen, I kind of went all over the place. Tetris Effect Connected was always a spectacle. But with this monitor, I was literally swimming with the fishies, but in a good way. I actually feel a little sad I 100%ed Hi-Fi Rush without this display. Like, this display is actually making me regret some of my gaming choices so I could have experienced them on this monitor from the beginning. Even though I played Spider-Man 2 on my 4K 60Hz HDR whatever monitor, the QD OLED would have just added that much more enjoyment to the experience. When I booted up Overwatch, I almost thought the display was too big, but then I acclimated quickly to it, and now I can't imagine playing on anything smaller. I thought, I wasn't going to be able to aim as well, but I think my muscle memory just kind of took over, and I was hitting and missing shots that I normally would. So yes, I'm still bad at the game, but now it'll look super pretty on my end. I actually will say that this monitor has a weird feature that I don't think I will ever use, but I think these tools are to help train your eyes focus on the middle of the screen to maybe give you a competitive edge. There are a couple different options, like they have a night mode which makes only the middle of the display a little bit brighter, so maybe it would be easier to keep your eye on a target. A clear mode which just creates a little white rectangle in the middle. The next option is a zoomed in box a little northeast of the middle of the screen, a chroma box which makes everything blue and green, and a stationary crosshair which I actually don't think you can change. Anyway, interesting feature. I just don't see myself using it at all. So back to the question at hand. Is the $11.99 price tag worth it? You might know the answer to this based on everything I've said, and with an answer that will shock absolutely no one. I say yes. 1,000 times, wait, no, 1,199 times yes. At $11.99, this monitor is 100% worth it. I don't see myself buying another monitor in the next 7 to 10 years, and that's not an exaggeration. If you think about it, unless you're playing a competitive first-person shooter, 240Hz is plenty because the most immersive blockbuster games are struggling to even hold a solid 90 FPS at ultra settings, even with a 4090 GPU. And if 240Hz is not enough, then you might want to pick up Alienware's AW3225QF, which boasts QHD at 360Hz. The PS5 is allegedly 8K compatible, but that is yet to be seen, and the Switch is still like 1080p 25 FPS. Just kidding. Anyway, the Switch 2 won't push this monitor at all, and it seems currently that each new GPU is just a marginal upgrade, so I don't think we'll get anything to challenge this monitor for at least another 4 to 5 years. And who knows if I'll even want or need it to upgrade my GPU at that point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this casual tech impression of Alienware's AW3225QF. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Leave a comment below and let me know if you're considering this monitor, or better yet, if you have any questions about it. I'd be glad to answer anything that comes my way. Not only would I appreciate it, but it would help this channel grow. Did I convince you one way or another? Also, don't forget to tune into the 48-hour Game-a-Thon February 9th through 11th, noon to noon PST on this YouTube channel, youtube.com/@LeoDonuts, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/LeoDonuts. I'm also live on these respective sites Monday evenings and Thursday through Saturday evenings PST. That's it for me. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.